There are some books, mostly romance, that I recently purchased, and we'll just get through them here. This is Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. This is a Barnes & Noble edition of the book. And the Barnes & Noble editions have kind of a bland covers, but I like the content of them because they have a lot of essays and the original introductions and things like that. So I bought this today for 50 cents at a Salvation Army thrift store. Now this was a cool one that I got for 20 cents at a library sale, Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell, and published by Pocket Books in, let's see here, I think 1967. Yep. Now I used to have an edition of Gone with the Wind that had a blue cover, and I later kind of regretted having gotten rid of it. And it was like also from the 1960s. I love the red Pocket Books thing there, and it mentions the movie on the back cover. So when I saw this today, I was very pleased to be able to get not only a nice copy of Gone with the Wind again, but also one that had such a much better cover than before. Also, the interior of the book had this from 1976, and it was a TV Guide article that they just kind of cut up and just kind of stapled together. And it's about the airing of the movie on television on NBC in 1976. Apparently that was the debut of the debut of Gone with the Wind on television. And there's the big event, Gone with the Wind. Anyways, so that was a nice little surprise inside the book. Now this one I bought last week, and I bought it at a thrift store for 20 cents. Georgette Heyer's The Nonsuch, published by Fawcett Crest. Not sure when this edition is from. I believe it's from the 1970s, but the book actually came out in 1962 originally. Now, also in 1972, The Flame and the Flower, published by Avon Books by Kathleen Woodiwiss. And this is a historically significant book because it's kind of considered sort of the dawn of the modern romance novel because it had a higher level of sensuality than previous romance novels did. Plus, it was a lot thicker than your average romance of the time. 1972. There we go for that. Now, also around that time, Rosemary Rogers was another writer who also was in that style of the more sensual, thicker books, also published by Avon. I'm currently reading this one. This is 1974. This is the 31st printing. Now the funny thing about this edition was that at the end of the book, there was a misprint. So page number 607 actually ends in the middle of a sentence where it says, "Go on down," and you turn the page, and there's nothing there. It turns out that Avon Books mistakenly put this ad page instead of page 608. But luckily, I posted about this on Facebook, and a reader was able to send me a scan from another edition of the paperback. They had a proper page 608, which has a few more paragraphs that are missing, and then it has a smaller "Dear Reader" blurb at the bottom of the page. Another historical book that I've got, I bought this today for 20 cents, also published by Fawcett. Barbara Michaels, Wings of the Falcon. And there's some other books that she wrote. Now, I had not heard of her before. This is 1977. And the way it's written at the very beginning is very interesting. I like this style, where it's kind of talking about Anne Radcliffe and the Bronte sisters and so forth. So I'm looking forward to reading this one, Wings of the Falcon. Also purchased today for 20 cents. He had a library sale. Dell's Books Candlelight Romance Series, number 660. Tilly by Jennie Tremaine. This is an Edwardian romance, so it would be in the early 1900s. Jennie Tremaine was actually a pen name for Marion Chesney, as revealed in the copyright information there. This book is from June 1981. It has kind of large type, so it looks like it won't be too hard to read. This one should be a fairly easy read. And like many Dells at this point, it had a green page edges. Also purchased today for 20 cents. Harlequin Super Romance, book number 462 from 1991 by Petra Holland, who is a Michigan writer. And this is there, Petra Holland, about her. Copyright Petra Walters, who would be her real name. There's the back cover. And I got two books by Victoria Holt today. And these were 20 cents each. Secret for Nightingale. This is kind of a well-read copy. Published by Fawcett Books. December 1987. And 7 for a Secret. Published by Fawcett. In 1993. Now this book came out posthumously, because at the end here it mentions that she passed away in 1993. Now, this is a very worn copy that I also bought today, a Fawcett book, published by Dorothy Eden. There's some writing on the front there. Books by Dorothy Eden. It has its printing history there. 1969. This is first Fawcett printing, 1970. This looks like, kind of like a Gothic, but I guess it's for younger readers. It's published by Dell Books. And somewhere in here, I believe, mentions the Laurel. Their Laurel imprint is, or Laurel Leaf books for young adult readers. 1958, it looks like, is when it originally came out. But this edition, you can tell from the price, is a more recent printing of it. And finally, I got some non-romance books here, and Alfred Hitchcock Presents, published by Dell Books. There's some writing on some of the titles there. Mystery stories. And I bought these two books today at a thrift store for 60 cents each. Two 1960s Galaxy magazine publication reprints. They're by H.L. Gold, who was editor of Galaxy, and Frederick Pohl. Let's see if we can get that in better.